Alright, everyone remembers these images. These images are pretty much ingrained in all of our minds, and I'm sure everyone can remember where they were when this day happened. I know I was in 6th grade, and the principal let us out of school early because something happened. I wasn't really sure. When I get home, I see 2 planes crashing into the Twin Towers in my city, and my first thought was the safety of my family, wondering if they were safe and if anything had happened to them. And the second thought that went through my head was how sorry and horrible I felt for the people who were jumping out of the buildings trying to escape the flames. And of course, this is September 11th. According to Eric Lipton's article in the New York Times, the death toll in New York City from the September 11th attacks is 2,752. It's 2,752 people who never got to see their families again and probably never even knew that they were going to die that day. But lately, in the past 9 years, it seems that America is trying to get more tolerant with a lot of the different cultures, and while becoming more tolerant, they're pushing aside the families who lost loved ones on this horrible day that happened. In an article by Ryan Mercer in the Liberty Champion, he states that many moderates and liberals have chosen Islam as the minority group to rally around. So while they're rallying around this minority group, they're pushing aside the people who lost so much on this day. So that brings me to my first point, why they should not build the mosque at the in or around the World Trade Center site. This is one mosque that was built in Greece, and as you can see from this quote right here, building a mosque can show supremacy. That's one of the reasons why they build mosques. And this is another mosque that was built in Amsterdam for the same reason. And Islam has been doing this throughout history. As you can see, the Ottomans did this. And mosques are built to show supremacy, to show conquering. That's the reason why mosques are built. So I feel that if they build a mosque at the World Trade Center site, that would be sending the message to the radical terrorist groups that did this to us that they won. They succeeded in their plan to conquer us. There's also another concept in Islam called fatah. And according to Dr. David Jeremiah, he states that fatah is infiltration, moving into a country in numbers large enough to affect the culture. It means taking advantage of tolerant laws and accommodative policies to insert the influence of Islam. And I believe that's another reason why they are pushing this mosque to be built so badly and so fast, because they want to incorporate this concept of fatah into New York City. Now, some people say that the mosque site is nowhere near the World Trade Center site, Ground Zero. This is the site of the proposed mosque up here, and as you can see, the World Trade Center was around all the red dots, but the red dots represent remains that were found, and as you can see, some of the remains were found less than a block away from where the proposed mosque site is. Also, according to Chelsea Schilling of WorldNetDaily.com, she writes, the 5-story building at Park Place, which is right up there, is the site where a plane's landing gear crashed through the roof on September 11th. So this proposed mosque site has a lot more to do with September 11th than people are trying to make it seem, and they're trying to downplay everything that's going on. So that's my first point. The second point is there have been, as you can see, these are a few verses from the Bible that say to love your enemies, love your neighbors, be kind to the people even if they hate you. I'm sure many of you have heard these, if not read them for yourself. But around the world today, in London and in Amsterdam especially, there's a lot of anti-Muslim feelings and a lot of hatred towards the Islamic race. There have been beatings, killings, all sorts of things. And I think that this is going to escalate if they build a mosque in New York City. And according to a woman named Talat Hamdani, when she was asked about what she has seen concerning the anti-Muslim feelings in the world, she states, "It's worse now than it was then. I got support then and now I'm getting hate mail." Now these are just a few pictures of what has happened to Muslims around the world, hate crimes, as you can see. That is a New York City cabbie that was stabbed to death. He was a Muslim, stabbed to death in his cab. And this one down here are Muslim children who were hung and then burned alive in India. So I believe as Christians, we should not allow this to happen. And if they build the mosque in or around the World Trade Center site, I believe that instances like this will only escalate. So in conclusion, we wouldn't build statues to Adolf Hitler or Fidel Castro in the places that they oppressed and did so much wrong to. We wouldn't build a monument to the kamikaze pilots at Pearl Harbor. So why build a mosque celebrating what the terrorists did to us on that day on September 11th? Thank you.